Hello, artists and art lovers. I'm Kay Ryan Hennessy, president here at Tag Gallery, and I'm very excited to share with you the show Shelter at Home from artist Gianna Vargas. Gianna, welcome. Thank you for being here in the office with me and a big giant piece of your artwork. Congratulations on your show. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm doing really well, actually. I feel like this is a wonderful culmination of stuff I've been working really hard on, and I'm really pleased to share it here at TAG and share it with the general audience, even if it is mostly online. I'm really excited for people to see what I've been working on, and this show is actually benefiting a really great cause, so I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I feel that the wellness comes across both in your glow and in the artwork itself, which really has a lot of ephemeral qualities. This piece, which is here in the office with us, it's on viewing at the gallery, but it's not part of the show. And you made some really conscious choices about what was in the show and what wasn't in the show. Can you tell us more about your inspiration?
Great, yes, thank you so much. That's a great question. So basically, I had started a lot of the pieces earlier before we had the stay-at-home quarantine epidemic, obviously pandemic that's occurred. I started a lot of those pieces earlier, but my process is very much start something and add layers to it. So I work in pieces. I work on multiple pieces at a time. And when we had the shelter at home order come in, I really dove into the studio. I had a lot more time, obviously. And because everything felt so chaotic and so threatening and quite frightening, I was trying to create pieces that did not reflect that. So I wanted to be really conscious and very restrained. A lot of the work in the show is very restrained and a lot fewer layers than I normally add, because I wanted people to feel a sense of lightness, hope, aspiration, optimism. You know, it's sort of fake it till you make it. Like, I was feeling very threatened and a little panicked, but I didn't want that to be the case. I wanted to surround myself with something that was beautiful and calming and hopeful. So I hope that comes through in the show. I hope you all feel a little bit lighter, brighter, happier, if you will, after seeing the work.
I certainly do. The piece Bloom, for instance, is really kind of effortlessly displayed. And I don't say effortlessly made because I understand art, and I know that we spend all of our time trying to make things look like they're simple when they really aren't. And that piece it's so evocative of a giant bouquet, right? A big giant red bouquet.
Yeah.
And you also have the really beautiful daffodils and flywing, which both are spraying into different directions. Lots of negative space that lets the color breathe. So tell us about the medium and throwing your layers and creating the levels.
Well, one of the things I try and do is kind of just let the paint be the paint, right? It does actually take a lot of practice, in that you end up throwing out quite a few pieces because the bottom line, as the paint does its will, doesn't really do anything interesting or anything formally, pleasing. So there are a lot of throwaways in this, and that's just part of it. But I think I have gotten a little bit more effective as time has gone on. And in this show, I was definitely trying to utilize restraint. So that's why those pieces have a lot more negative space. My early days painting, if you look at some of my earlier work on my website, it's very dense. There's a lot of there's maybe 10 different layers, and a lot of work in the background comes through just slightly in the foreground. And those are really interesting, and I was trying to go for something different in those pieces. But in these pieces, I definitely wanted to keep the viewer awake, aware, and kind of light. I think of it as just keeping things a little bit more distilled, and that's actually a little harder, because if you make a mistake, like I said, it's done. It's over.
Absolutely.
You can't fix it.
Absolutely. That's going to become something else in a different era. No, I totally understand. The thing that I find really evocative in your use of negative space and in the airiness that the entire display has is that it's related to the comforts of home.
Yeah.
And that, of course, relates to the charity that
Mhm.
all of your artist proceeds are going to,
Yeah,
which is
100%.
really, really amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us about them and tell us why you're drawn to this specific charity.
Well, it's founded by two of my close friends, Georgie Smith and Melissa Goddard, and they were actually my former neighbors. So when we met them, when we first moved to Venice, California, they came out, welcomed us, just really created this wonderful sense of community. And that's what they do everywhere. And with this organization, they've basically are creating homes for foster youth who are aging out of the foster system and going into their first apartments. These youths, these children, and recently turned, 18, 19-year-olds, don't have a network and they don't have family members to help furnish their home. So this organization comes in, sets up a home, and also sets up a network and a community for them to rely upon. With these pieces, like I said, because I want some of these pieces to go into homes for the foster youth, I wanted it to feel elevated, elegant, quality, and also optimistic and hopeful, because we want these children, to young adults, I should say, to go into the world feeling that people care about them and that they have worth, value, and they deserve to have something beautiful in their home. So I was really trying to keep something beautiful, optimistic, hopeful, and hopefully that will inspire them to feel those sentiments about themselves.
I think that's really beautiful and a
Thank you.
great excuse for anyone to really buy a piece, put it in their home, or purchase a piece for a future home for one of the kids, which is really, really wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So to wrap it up, what is your big takeaway message that you want people to walk away with when they are viewing your show?
It's not just viewing my show. I actually think this is a message. This is something I hear a lot at open studios or events. People say, "Oh, you're so creative. I wish I were that creative." And my answer to you is that everybody has a bounty of creativity. If you don't know that you have it, you haven't found your medium yet. So really go explore that. I think this is a great opportunity. We all have to be a little more introspective these days and find your medium. Is it painting, drawing, comedy?
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah. Like, you have a creative flow to you, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
if you don't feel that, you haven't found it yet. And so I challenge you to go find your inner creative warrior.
Well, thank you, and I will second that. Right now is a really great time to do that. It's also a really great time to reach out and look at art in your whole life. So the Shelter at Home is up from August 11 to September 5th.
Yes.
Yes, there we go. I remembered. And we are taking appointments, and we will continue to take appointments even in the future. So give us a call or email us at the gallery. You can find more about Gianna on her artist page at taggallery.net as well. We look forward to seeing you all again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.